Hi, Clayton speaking, hoping you and yours are doing well today. Welcome into Sticky Sims, my YouTube channel where I love to build and play The Sims. So today we're doing another challenge. This challenge is called the Planet Premades. It's hosted by Shelly E1. She is a Sims YouTuber and streamer. The Planet Premades challenge is a monthly challenge that she does where they rotate different worlds and different households, and we basically do makeovers. So it's open to all creators. You can make over the family, you can make over the apartment or the home or wherever it is, you know, that we're redoing the premades. For the month of August, it was the City Living Pack, and then the household was the Rasoyas. So the apartment that I'm renovating today is the 20 Culpepper house. It's in the Arts District. Now, I didn't do too deep of a dive, but basically it's Raj and his mom. Raj is a chef, and mom is overly critical, from what I understand. The apartment that they're in, I basically renovated it to a 3-bedroom. Figured mom would take like the primary suite that has like a bedroom and a bathroom together. And then of course Raj will have his room, and then there'd be like an extra bedroom that's also kind of an office. I was very excited to do an apartment. Last month we did a mansion, so it was definitely a change of pace for me. Like, for instance, no landscaping. So I try not to really overthink the floor plan. When I'm thinking of interiors and when I'm working with apartments, my vision isn't usually the same as when I'm looking at like a lot or building a home. I'm trying to think of more what would it be like for the sim that's actually walking in the front door. So I pictured, of course, a big open shared living space / dining space. Because Roz is a chef, I knew that I wanted to give the kitchen its own special big kind of open, what is the word I'm looking for? I guess a nook, really highlight the kitchen for him. One of the things I realized when I started on this apartment was that I had actually never bought the Home Chef Hustle pack. And I was judging myself. And some friends on Twitter were judging me as well, and I don't blame them because it's a fantastic stuff pack. I don't know why I was sleeping on it for so long. The items, of course, make a beautiful kitchen, but there's a few things like some shelves and other paintings and different things that just really work well in all kinds of other rooms. So let me reel myself back in. Where are we with this build? Okay, so I broke up the floor plan. I tried to play with some platforms and levels to try to give it a little bit of dimension. You know how I am. And immediately when you walk in the front door, I figured there would be a bathroom immediately to the right. This would kind of be like a more larger bathroom to be shared across the apartment. I don't always love doing a bathroom without windows, but I think that this one's still pretty cozy. I did a lot of stone, so I wouldn't say it's necessarily a warm feeling, but I don't know, I like it. I definitely use that tile, and I continually keep going back to the sleek bathroom kit. That's the thing I'm noticing about my building, and then with different kits, it's sometimes there's different things that'll mesh and can be used in a bunch of different other types of styles and different rooms, but there are some things that they put out that just slap, and they're very specific. So the sleek bathroom kit, for example, it's specific to bathrooms, but it slaps every time and it always looks good. I also kind of feel the same way about the cozy gamer kit. If I want a little gaming desk, there's literally nothing else that I like, I guess, better than that. I mean, I guess if you want to really do the streamer thing, there is that one that comes with, I think I can't remember if it's high school or university pack, but there is another streaming, what's the word I'm looking for? Setup, I guess. Anyways, as you can see, I whipped the kitchen up really quickly because of this new kit that I bought. Not new kit, the new stuff pack. I always feel the need to put in some type of window-ish type illusion over the sink, and I had to break myself from that because it's an apartment. I guess it's always been a southern United States kind of all my friends' homes and everything growing up, everyone always had a window to look out right above their kitchen sink. Which is nice, so you can look out the window while you're doing the dishes or whatever, but I guess if there's a downside to that, if it gets cold enough to freeze, you always have to make sure that your pipes are dripping, otherwise you will not have a kitchen sink that runs water the next day. I don't know, sometimes I'm rewatching how I did this kitchen, and I really just used the default green swatch, but I liked it. I'm also kind of a sucker for green, so I feel like they get me. Now, I guess when I'm thinking of a sim that is a chef and would of course have a huge kitchen, he would also have a lot of space to, I guess, like entertain or have people over. Like, what's the point in cooking all this food if we don't have anyone to share it with? So I always love to add a little like extra chair somewhere, and then of course, just to make it look a little lived in, like put shit on top of it, like a book or a plant or something. But yeah, so the kitchen is kind of like raised up a little bit, as you can tell, and then it pours into what I'm calling the dining room. I didn't really know what to do to kind of separate the dining space from the living space. I knew I wanted to leave it open, but I also wanted to have some kind of barrier. And I felt like I had played enough with the like platform heights, because I kind of sunk the living room. I ultimately ended up doing this like fountain thing. I did it once before in another build, but I kind of used like half walls and glass wallpaper and fountains in between to create this, I guess, a little like novelty, I don't know, a spectacle, if you will, in the middle of their apartment. We're gonna assume that Raj is a very successful chef. Now that I'm thinking about it, all said and done, the bathroom right at the front door, I think, is the only room that I did with more of like a darker, cool vibe. Because the rest of the apartment is very bright and vibrant. The shared spaces, I kind of try to stick with more neutral tones. And one of my favorite things to do with apartment builds is to kind of leave like city living, like the wallpaper, the brick, different things. Because most of the time in apartments, or at least in my experience, you couldn't really do anything with the walls other than decorate it. You know, like put shit on it instead of actually like painting the wall, which was, of course, one of the first things I did when I bought a house. I do really love building and furnishing apartments. I feel like you have all this not extra, but like you have more energy in furnishing in the interiors than when you build a full house. Like, you can't just change things inside all willy-nilly because then it'll make the outside look all funky, but you don't really have that situation in an apartment. So you just kind of go ham and just start adding all kinds of different crap. So yeah, I made this little like faux, I guess you would call it a little entryway. We're getting this new mudroom kit, so I'm sure that could easily be replaced if you end up downloading this later after the kit comes out. Yep, here's my weird little fountain spectacle thing. I tried it a bunch of different ways, and I actually could only fit a fountain. Was it a fountain or was it a pool? I think it was a fountain. Anywho, I also plopped in, you probably saw it, the huge TV that we got with the Casanova Cave Kit. I do really love it. It's just an incredibly large TV, so it kind of feels awkward as if, like, if you're gonna use it, you decide early on, because you have to like make sure that you have the space for it. Now, the dining room. So I did a circular table because I'm kind of a sucker for circular tables, and it has this little like half octagonal kind of like bump out on this apartment building. So naturally that made sense, but I still kind of just envisioned more, I guess, that I couldn't really fit. But I felt like if I would have crowded it too much, it would have came off more like cafeteria and less dining room. But I wanted like more chairs. I wanted more people. Like, I was thinking like an overcrowded apartment of like 20 something Sims that he's feeding. You know what I mean? That's all right. That's all right. So here I am. I added a bunch of like paintings on the wall. I believe that all came with the Home Chef Hustle kit, or maybe it was the kitchen clutter. One of the two. It said Raj was a chef, so I really just went ham on all of the food stuff. It's always funny to me too, because I use blinds a lot in apartments, just mostly because it makes sense, but it's funny because I always hated blinds. Like, growing up, I hated how blinds looked. So I was the type of kid that would like pull my blinds all the way up and then pull the curtains down. As an adult, I'm learning that it keeps the heat out. Like, it helps keep the home warm, or the home cool. So now I love blinds, but anyways, I hate the way blinds look in real life, but I think they look so cute in The Sims. So that's, I guess, what I'm trying to get across here. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, so the little life and death family portrait that automatically fills in with the household's like family picture. It's one of my favorite items, but because the household was already living here, it of course automatically pulls in the little Rosoya family. Now, before I saved it to the library, I did have to delete this particular family portrait, and that's because if you save it to the lot and the household already lives there and it fills in their picture, even though it's the like out the box Rosoya family, it still flags that room as CC. And I hate that, but I also kind of get it, because like it could be any sim household that pulls onto that, but I just really feel like it should recognize that it's like a regular in-game item, and it should just pull off anything that is specific to that household when it's saving it. But anywho, I digress. Added in a few kids' toys, figuring might have nieces or nephews or something. I threw in a few collectibles just because I love them. And the cartons also kind of fell into this whole food-ish theme throughout the apartment. I just really love a sunken living room. Like, I wish that trend would like come back. You know, maybe it has come back. Maybe I just live under a rock. Y'all let me know. I haven't experienced very many sunken living rooms in my time on this earth. Let's see, I'm trying to remember all the other different little activities and things that I added in here in case you do want to download this apartment. I know I made sure I added, there's a guitar. In the extra room, I end up putting an easel. There's a computer in all 3 bedrooms, I believe. Yeah. There are some kids' toys. There's also, of course, the huge-ass TV. Plenty of bookshelves, so you can get those skill-building books. And of course, I can't forget the big old home chef kitchen. I don't know. I really like how this apartment ended up coming out. I tried not to overclutter it. I try to be mindful of these types of things. Now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of wanted to ask you guys, as a builder and learning to fight the move objects cheat fight, I of course, one thing's to look lived in, cute, enjoyable to look at, but I also don't want it to be overcrowded. I don't want it to be unplayable. I do playtest everything, almost everything. There were a few that I didn't playtest, but it's mostly because I was like 98% sure that everything was fine. Anywho, I try to be mindful of like not putting too many things on top of one another and like overdoing it, I guess, to an extent. My partner is a console simmer, so it's something that I try to like just kind of keep in the back of my mind that yes, I sit here on a PC, but this is not necessarily every simmer. And my favorite part of building in this game is the ability to share it with everyone. So I just, what do you guys think? Should I go harder? Should I chill, like hack back? I'm interested in your feedback and your opinions, because the truth is, as much as I love to build for me, I do love to build for you guys as well. I do have this like ongoing list of things that people have asked me for, and I promise you I will get to them. I'm just distracted. Anywho, let me reel myself back into the build that we're working on right now. Right now we're in Mom's room. Mom's room, I kind of went more of a blue feel, like I guess lighter blues and grays. I wanted everything to be very neat and orderly, but still kind of cozy in a way for Mom. They said that she was very critical, so I was like, okay, she needs a very like zen space where everything is just kind of peaceful. I kind of wanted her to give, her room to give off this like, I have taste, I don't know, vibe. The only thing that was really bugging me about this room is the like weird little like visual bugs that occur with diagonal walls. I just try to kind of use the lighting a little bit to try to hide it, I guess, because really the visual bug is just kind of like a shadow, this weird like shadow that goes on the floor, and sometimes the wallpaper. But yeah, here is the little bath that I did for Mom's suite, if you will. Her bathroom has a window. Threw in that little tiny living wall decoration. I swear that's like my favorite little bathroom wall decoration piece. And it's not even from my favorite kit. It's just cute. It has the little like, I don't know, all the little pieces that make sense. I'm also very much when in doubt, I put up those, the like vine curtain. Now we finished up with Mom's suite, and then we moved next door into what I decided was Raj's room. I feel like this particular pattern that we got here, and I'm pretty sure this is the City Living pack, like, what is it? Like bed and curtains. I feel like I never really use it, and I kind of just, when I was flipping through all the different swatches on the beds, I was like, why don't I just build the room based on this? So that's what we did. Added in that cool glass top desk, a shelf. I believe I used there's like this white ceramic with the blue ink type lamp. The wicker chair is one of my favorites, threw that in there. But because he's single, I guess I figured the majority of the things that he uses in his room would be on one side, if that makes sense. Or like the things that he uses the most, so like the bookshelf and the desk and such. On the opposite side, of course, you're just getting dressed, so I threw in a dresser. Or no, I don't think I did a dresser. I think I did one of the clothes racks, a bookshelf, and then the full-length body mirror. You know, so you kind of look in the room and you can tell that there's space for one more. I think that's also kind of a part of the lore with this household, is that mom's like waiting for him to, find someone, settle down. All right, so here we are. Okay, we're making it into our last room, our kind of study / guest bedroom, if you will. Because I went blue and light blue-ish with the 2 other bedrooms, I figured I would do more reds or something just kind of different from the rest of the house. Added in a bunch of extra bookshelves. In this room, I actually decided just to put a desk right in the middle, since this would kind of be more of an extra useful space. Not useful, I was gonna say utility, but utility is not a good word either. Anywho, we're wrapping up the build and we're gonna have the little screenshots tour coming up. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You know the deal. It really helps me out, and I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you have a beautiful week. Love you. Bye.